Hi guys, I hope everybody's doing great. Okay, so before we get started, my name is Damola and I'm a project coordinator here at RKY Careers. Okay, so let's talk about RKY Group. Now, RKY Group is an ecosystem, right? And RKY Group is not just about training people, just teaching people, right? It's built around creating opportunities for multiple angles. And that's why we're a dynamic conglomerate dedicated to bridging gaps and creating opportunities for underrepresented individuals and communities. And on in the ecosystem, we have RKY Careers, a multi-award winning edtech company offering practical bootcamps in data analysis, project management, product management, business analysis, digital marketing, and much more. Right? You get to see a brief presentation from our students right today. And Applied Body, we are supporting professionals with CV optimization, cover letter writing, and interview preparation. We also help people apply for jobs. There's some people, they're tired of getting rejections. They've been applying. Some don't even have the time to apply. So Applied Body is there to bridge that gap. So you don't need to leave your CV sitting on the shelf and not applying because you are busy with other things. We can help take that burden off you. All right. We also have Limitless and Thriving podcasts where we share insights and success stories to empower professionals and entrepreneurs. We have Limitless Without Borders, our networking and tech career events where we feature keynote speakers, panels, workshop, awards, you name it. Unfortunately, we have one coming up next month, and I'll be talking about that during the course of this session. We also have RKY Business Hub, high impact community helping professionals and founders turn ideas into profitability. Into profitable, scalable businesses through structure, strategy, and high value connections. And we also have RKY Digital Solutions where we offer mobile app and website development, IT training, project consulting, and data analysis service. Now, together, this makes RKY Group an ecosystem. And that's why I said we are not just about teaching people, we build and create opportunities from different angles. We bridge gaps from different angles, right? Okay, so let's move to RKY Careers. Sorry about that. RKY Careers is a multi-award winning edtech company that empowers international students and professionals to excel in the competitive global job markets. At RKY Careers, we don't just teach concepts, right? We don't teach concepts. We also teach people how to practice it, right? It's not just about teaching you the theory part. It's also about you knowing what it takes. You don't learn the concepts, you learn how to practice it, right? There's no way you can say you are something if you have not done it. Let's say, for example, you watch a tutorial video, except you actually practice what you have watched. Can you confidently say you can do it? Right? You can't confidently say that. But yeah, RKY Careers, you don't just go through the theory phase of your facilitators pouring into you. You also go through the work experience phase where you have practical work experience and you have to deal with stakeholder meeting, deal with developers, deal with issue reports, deal with documentations, collaborate with different people with different perspectives and opinion, right? So that by the time you get out there, you will be able to tell a story from what you have experienced, right? And that's why we have over 2,500 success stories of students hired into desired jobs. Our bootcamps and services are offered remotely and have been leveraged by candidates across the world. And at RKY Careers, we understand international talent, unique challenges, and strive to bridge the gap, ensuring they thrive in their career pursuits and achieve their aspirations. And because of all this, we have won several awards, as you can see on my screen. Okay, so I'm going to talk about our CEO. a CEO is someone that has actually gone through every pain that you might think you have as an immigrant, right? She didn't build this company just because she wants to build it. She built it because of her personal experience. She saw a problem through her personal experience and intentionally came up with a solution, right? It was not random. She understands the struggles immigrants and professionals face when they get to the UK because of how competitive the job market is. She experienced the rejection. She experienced the being told, oh, you're good, but you don't have UK experience. You're good, but you've not stayed in the UK for so time. So many excuses, right? How many people here have been rejected? Have like you've passed the interview stage, and the reason why they rejected you is because you don't have UK experience. How many people here? Can I see a show of hands, please? How many people have experienced that? Like you've been told it's because you don't have UK experience. That's why. Thank you. Thank you. So it is a real struggle. Thank you so much. It's a real struggle, right? You have the skills, maybe background speak from your home country, and you get there, you are even better than the person they end up picking, right? But because, oh, you don't have UK experience, they won't give you the job. And this is one of the struggles, not the only struggle, one of the struggles that RKY tried to bridge. And this is why our CEO created RKY Careers, and we have successfully helped thousands of people gain their dream job. We don't just stop at teaching you, we support you till you get the job, right? And when you build something from a place of genuine understanding, people feel it. And that's why we have so many lives that have been impacted through our programs. And because of this impact, CEO has been awarded with several awards, as you can see on my screen. Top 25 changing the face of education in 2022, EdTech CEO of the Year, Innovative Entrepreneur of the Year, Top 25 Advancing Diversity, Equity and Inclusion in Corporate UK, Outstanding Coach and Mentor, and she's also part of the Forbes official coaches. And like you saw earlier when I spoke about RKY Group, she saw the problem with people not being able to apply for jobs or getting rejected or not even having time to apply for a job. She came up with Apply Buddy. She saw people that want to set up businesses in the UK but do not know how to go about it. They don't have the manuscript, the framework, they don't even know where to start. And she, through her experience, remember I said she has experienced all these things. Through her experience, she built RKY Business Hub. So every of our solutions that she has provided is with the mindset that she wants to help people, and she has done an amazing job so far. Right. So now let's talk about Limitless Without Borders. Limitless Without Border is one of the biggest tech networking events in the UK. It's a premier tech networking events and awards that bring together ambitious professionals, founders, and industry leaders. It creates a powerful space to connect, engage with recruiters, unlock opportunities, and accelerate career and business growth. There are some connections you cannot get without networking. Right? There are some connections that if you don't network, you won't get them. I'm pretty sure that that's people on this call that, I mean, I myself, I know I've experienced certain connections. Certain opportunities. I've gotten certain opportunities through to, because of a connection I made and because of someone I networked with. So I'm very sure there are people on this call that because you networked with someone, you connected with someone, you were able to get certain opportunities. And that's what networking does, right? When you attend these networking events, there are some people that when you message them, send them a mail or send them a message on WhatsApp or even call them, they might not pick, they might not respond to your messages on your mail, all right? Some, they might not see the mail because of the amount of mails that they get, right? Some might see it and forget to respond. But when you see them face to face, there's always that click. There's always that click that comes into play, and you are able to tell them, discuss what you do, you discuss how you do, you position yourself that when they are thinking of maybe hiring something or creating opportunity that is within your field, you will be one of the people they will call. Why? Because you've spoken to them face to face. You've sown a seed with how you spoke to them, right? So it is important to network. And for this year, we are bringing innovator visa experts. We are bringing global talent visa experts. We are bringing NHS directors. We are bringing industry founders. You name it. We have a lot in store, and we've been doing this for the past 3 years. This year we make it the 4th year, and the fun fact about this year is that it's happening in 2 locations. So if you are in Nigeria, you are now left out as well, right? We have one coming up June 26th in London, and we have one coming up August 15th in London. So if you are wondering, oh, what should I expect? You can expect keynote speeches from industry leaders and experts, panel discussions around career, tech, business, creator economy, and investment, finance, entrepreneurship, and much more. We also have award ceremonies to celebrate trailblazers and visionaries within the community, and then fun, music, entertainment, etc. Right? So you have a lot in store. And if you're wondering, oh, I have children, where will I put them? My baby is still small. I'm here to tell you that we also have provisions for childcare. So you can have your child in the daycare that we have provided and still enjoy the event. So there is nothing stopping you from being. This is in an event that you want to be in. In fact, the first one we had, I think some of the people that volunteered during that session as job now, they have their dream job now, and this was because they attended that event. Some people that attended that event, that even volunteered to help plan the event. Some have started their business. Like last year, the person that won the Pitch to Win award, she has started a business now. I remember we worked on our website. She has started a business now, and this is what networking gives you, right? And if you don't take that step to be in that room, it won't come to your house to meet you. You have to be in that room where things are happening, where decisions are being made, where issues are being discussed, so that you can also contribute and gain out of it, right? And these are pictures from last year's sessions. As you can see, these are Pitch to Win winner that won £5,000, keynote speakers, and the likes. And this year is going to be much more fun, and the ticket is just going for £14, right? Support will drop the link in the chat box, and you can secure your slots before the day, because as these tickets are being sold out, the regular tickets will be sold out. We had the early bird tickets that was sold out. Now this is the regular ticket that's been sold, and before you know it, it will be sold out, and we only have the VIP left, right? So you can always secure your slots before you hear sold out, right? So now
Let me quickly call in. Hello, Olinda.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, let me quickly call in. Hello, everyone. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a very good weekend. And I commend each and every one of you on the call, from the attendees to the people showcasing their projects and their products to the judges, for taking out time to, be engaged in this kind of activity where there's so many other things you could be doing. But the question I want to ask, because I know that we have some internal people here that are not hearing about LWB the first time, how many of us have secured our tickets and will be there? I want to know how many people are actually have taken action, because I'm sure you guys have heard it a couple of times. You've heard us talk about it. You've heard us talk about the benefits. You've heard us talk about how it's life changing. Some of you have even experienced it probably from attending the previous year's events. But how many of us have secured our tickets? Can we indicate with a raise of hand? And if you're hearing about it for the first time as well, I believe that Oida did a very good job of explaining, right, what it's all about. Do we have people? I don't know. I'm using my phone, so I can't really see do we have people raising their hand? By the way, this event is also being planned and coordinated. We have like internal volunteer planning committee that are also alumni like you guys. So there are so many ways you can be involved. Do we have raise of hand? How many raise of hand do we have?
No, no one man. There's no reason.
Right. So it means that you guys have not taken the action. Okay. So another question I want to ask you guys is: how many of you have attended an event? A networking event, a corporate event, right? Like in this, let's say this year, 2026. No raise of hand as well. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you guys are missing out, on something, on like, you're really missing out on, another level, because a lot of job opportunities, just like Oyinda said, are not all job opportunities are advertised, right? And there are so many things. The next step to your to the next step in your career or your business, that you unlock, not just by applying randomly to things. Yeah, it's okay to always wait till things are advertised, maybe jobs, maybe awards, maybe speaking opportunities, before we apply. But most of the times, you don't wait for opportunities to come to you. You don't wait for, you don't chase after opportunities. Sometimes some opportunities come to you because of some rooms you've been in, because of some people you've met, because of people that are, mentioning your names in the rooms, right? That matter. I go to events like every other day, like water, right? And that's because, yeah, I'm a full-time entrepreneur and I actually have unlocked and I know the value I get from this event. Of course, every event you go, it's not like go for every other event out there, but you need to go for strategic ones that that, yes, this one was done for me, created for me in mind. And, this one, like, I'm not just going to be an outsider or they're not going to be talking over my head. Just like the experience we are curating for the London and Lagos one. I was still at one yesterday, and guess what? I was at the brim of not going for that event. Like up until 2 o'clock, I had not made up my mind whether I would go, and that was because of the distance. It was so far away from me. But guess what? Getting up and going for that event actually connected me to someone that I've been trying to. I didn't even know the person would be attending. Connected me to with someone that I've been trying to reach and trying to get, for something I want to do. And if I didn't go through relationship, I would have had to pay, thousands of pounds to engage this person. But just because I attended the events, we met at a very level ground, playing ground. We connected. Guess what? You know, is we are now operating on a basis of money is not everything. And that is, when you start being money is not everything kind of conversation, or, you know, sometimes relationship is more important than that, is when you've actually unlocked, another level of access, proximity, and all of that. So I'm going to stop here. And I hope like this is like enough, like this year alone, I think I've traveled to about 4 cities in the UK, to different events as well, similar to this one. And distance was not a barrier, even though it was in Sheffield or in Birmingham or Leicester, Manchester, they were not barriers enough to stop me from taking that train, booking that train, and getting in that room. So I hope, like if this is the only thing you take out of this today, like the power of entering the right rooms and how that can unlock the next step. Someone I was talking to yesterday as well was just talking about global talent, and I was like, oh, the person that have applied before and the application was, the application I applied wrongly or something. I'm like, this information, I thought everybody knew this information. You look at the last events we had about self-sponsorship as well. We had over 200 and something attendees, right? And, these are the opportunities we've put together all in one day that you can be able to unlock, from global talents to, to business, to career, to even self-sponsorship. Like she said, we are bringing one of the endorsing bodies, those that approve innovator visa, the home office endorsing bodies, into the room as well, to share with you what, their criterias are, right, when they want to approve an innovator visa application. Right. So like beyond that as well, I can't mention, because we're going to end, as we enter this week, we are going to start unveiling our partners and sponsors. And, I'm sure you definitely want to be in that room. So I'll end it here, and I hope you guys take action. The link, to ordinarily the event, this event, the tickets should start from like £50 and above, to be honest, but because we want to make it as accessible as possible, and we don't want to make it 100% free, because we don't want 1,000 people booking booking the free ticket and nobody showing up because they forget, they didn't pay, they have nothing to lose. That's why we have the little premium we have over it, which is £14. And I think I understand there's also a 2-in-1, that even that £14 will give you tickets for 2 people. So there's really no reason why you should not come or why you should not be in the room. So if you haven't made your plans yet, you should make your plan, now. And, yeah, just make sure you're in the room. I'll leave it here. And, Oinda, thanks for the few minutes you've given me. Yes, I can't wait to see all the projects and, the work experience, showcase that we are going to be unveiling today. How our students go from zero experience in these fields, and you'll hear them talking confidently, like as project managers or product managers or business analysts and the likes. And if you're sitting on the fence as well, you're not sure whether or not to be a part of the RKY ecosystem or to join our bootcamps, right? This is your call, because time waits for no one. I can't believe that we are in April already. When did we do Happy New Year? If you've been sitting on the fence since the beginning of the year, some people are graduating now. These people joined probably in January. Now they're graduating. Before you know it, people joining now, they'll be graduating another 3 months. And you're still saying maybe no, maybe or maybe not. So make sure you take, you absorb as much as you can and take all the necessary steps, because it's those actions that really matter and not just the absorbing of information. I wish you guys all, the best.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you for joining. We're happy to have you here. Okay. So, as you can hear, the CEO has said it all, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be at Limitless without order. The link has been dropped in the chat box, so you can click on it to secure your slots. And if you have secured your slots while the CEO was talking, you can let us know in the chat box that you would be at the event. Okay, moving on. Our training and services. Now, everybody's career journey is different, right? And that's why we have a training and service that is flexible. Our training part is very, very flexible. All right. While some people enjoy managing projects, some people like analyzing data. Anything that they need to analyze, they like coming up with solutions. And that's why we have data analysis and business intelligence. We have project management and business analysis. We also have our advanced Microsoft Excel and PowerPoint training that is also starting today. So if you are interested in that, you should actually enroll so that you'll be able to join the course starting today. Right. We also have the Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Product Manager. We have the digital marketing. We have compliance, KYC, and AML. And each and every one of these bootcamp comes with CV optimization, career support, interview preparation, LinkedIn optimization. Our data analysis bootcamp actually comes with portfolio. So yes, we have you. Like, we're thinking of you every step of the way. So there's nothing you need to position yourself in the job market that we are not going to provide for you. We even provide on the job support. After you have gotten the job and you need support, we have one of our data analysis students that gotten a job, and they gave him a task that is related to something that one of the facilitators mentioned during the course. And he reached out, stated what he wants, even stated the particular task and the particular sentence that this facilitator made. For some funny reason, this person took the bootcamp in 2024, and he still remembered the statement the facilitator made and remembers the name of the facilitator. And all I had to do was just connect him with the facilitator. Now, the person is working. He needed all the job support, and we're able to provide it. So you have the support that you need, whether before you get a job or after you've gotten a job. We are still here to support you. The goal is to ensure that everybody is happy with whatever they find themselves doing, and you get a better opportunity. Some people know what they want, others just want better opportunity and do not even know where to start yet. So if you are here and you are wondering, oh, should I take this bootcamp? Which bootcamp should I take? Should I go for data analysis? Should I go for project management? We are here to help you with that, right? We have career advisory where you can book to have a one-on-one with the CEO, and she's going to give you insight and strategies and even give you a breakdown of the career path that fits you. right? Okay, so if you're here, if there's anyone here and you've not enrolled for our bootcamp, you are relatively new and you're still trying to like navigate to know if you want to join RKY Careers, can I see a show of hands? Is anyone new here? Can I see a show of hands if you are new here? You've not, or maybe you've enrolled for the bootcamp starting next week, or you've not enrolled at all. Can I see a show of hands? Okay, we have, okay. Thank you. I can see about 2 hands up. Thank you for raising up your hand. Okay, 3 hands. Thank you so much for raising up your hand. Right. So yes, you're in the right place, right? Regardless of the career path you want to go. Oh, 4 people. Thank you so much for raising up your hand. So yeah, you're in the right place. And the presentation you're going to see today is going to blow your mind, right? Because each of the students that presented today started thinking about what they want to do, where they want to head. They also had no idea some had idea of what they wanted, and some were even confused. They didn't know if they could do it because it felt like a loss. And today they'll be presenting their findings. They'll be presenting how they started their project, how they finished it, how they attended meetings, how they did documentation. You get to see everything, right? So let's move on quickly. So this is our IT services, right? We also do data analysis and migration projects. We do mobile app development. We do website development. We do change management, IT project consulting, and IT training. So if you're there and you want to build a website, right, and you need a team, a dedicated team that would help you build that website, we are here for you. And that's why all our projects, all our work experience are real projects. They're not projects that they'll just do and it's just be there. No, they're actually real functioning projects. Each website or mobile app application that our students built are real projects that if you search out on Google, they will come up. So yes, we actually like when our students work on projects that are relatable and they can flaunt to recruiters, because when you mention a project that is active and the recruiter goes ahead to search, it even boosts your chances of actually getting hired, because they see that, oh, okay, this is what you said you worked on and it's actually working, it's active, people are using it, right? So if you're out there and you want someone to build your website for you, RKY Digital Solutions is your best bet. So yes, we also have our work experience lab where we have students that have background, right? Maybe they've worked as a project manager or data analyst or business analyst in their own country, but coming to the UK, they don't have like UK work experience. Like I mentioned before, there are certain people that they have the background experience, they have the certifications and everything, but getting to the UK, getting to the interview, they did well, but the only reason why they didn't hire them is because they don't have UK work experience. And this is what we do at our work experience lab. We also call it Tech Accelerator, right? So if you have the background skills, you've already worked in that field before, you just need the work experience in the UK, right? RKY Careers does that, right? So we give, unlike the 15 weeks that someone that is just transitioning to tech will have to go through, you just have to go through 8 weeks of intense project phase where you work on projects, build real life projects, and participate with the team, meet with your developer, use Balsamic, use VCLink, build wireframes, and meet with your stakeholders, right? And at the end of the bootcamp, you get the work experience, a year work experience from RKY Careers, right? We recently just onboarded a new set of people that were interested in our Tech Accelerator program, and we have one coming up in June. So if you are interested in that, right, you can send an email or contact our support. Our support, please drop the number for them to contact and the email as well. You can send an email to us to tell us what you want. You can also reach out to any of our consultants on WhatsApp as well, and we'll be able to take it from there. Right, quickly, this is, yeah, like I mentioned, we have one coming up in June, and it's coming up June 24th rather. So if you're interested, right, it doesn't matter if it's business analysts, product management, project management, Scrum, even data analysts, we have a plan for you, and it goes for just £399. Right now it's discounted, so you should take that opportunity now before the price changes. Okay, so quickly let's move on to the collaborative learning tool that our students use when they are working on a project. This is like our dashboard on Bootcamp, right? These are projects that students have worked on, right? As you can see, Project Ignite, Project Seamless, Project Light. These are project groups that where our students build websites, mobile apps, they upgraded websites, maybe built it from scratch or just upgraded or added a new feature to the website. And we use Basecamp as a collaborative tool, because if you know how to use Basecamp, trust me, you know how to use Notion, you know how to use Slack, you know how to use other collaborative tools as well. Okay, so now these are some of the products that we have built over time. Apply Body. Remember I mentioned that we have Apply Body where we help applicants, we help professionals apply for job, that we do CV, cover letter, interview preparation for them. Yeah, our students actually built this website, right? We also have this packaging. We have ASF packaging. We have RKY HR Portal. We have RKY Group. We have Techie Lancers and much more. Now, meet our esteemed judges. I mentioned them briefly earlier. And yeah, they are here. Shemilori Adeoye is currently a product manager. And Victor Asomni, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, is a senior business analyst as well. Shemilori, are you here, please?
Hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Hi, Shemi. Yes, we can.
How are you guys doing? It's a pleasure being here. Yes, thank you for inviting me. Yeah, thank you. And I really hope to, hear from everyone and, see your project. I'm very sure that, you guys have put in a lot of effort. So I'm sure today's going to go great as expected. So thank you once again, Oyinda, for invite. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time out. You could have been doing anything right now, but you chose to be here. So we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, Victor, are you here, please?
Yes, I am. Good afternoon to everyone. Yeah, thanks for the invite. I'm excited to be here, and I do look forward to all the projects, especially the business analysis ones. Business analysis is my core, so I really look forward to it. And I hope it's going to be a good time for all of us.
Hey, thank you so much for joining the session, Victor. Victor is practically an RKY Careers family. So yeah, you still get to hear from him where we tell you about his attendance to LWB. If that would also get you to actually book your tickets, right? And also his experience about RKY Careers, right? So let's move on to the products that we'll be exhibiting today. We have Girard Healthcare Consulting, we have AGL, we have Right Time Consulting, and we also have the Omupo UK. Right, the first name for today is Project Ruby, and this is the amazing faces of some, not all, some of the students that worked on the project. Project Ruby works on AGL projects, and the presenters will be Adiola Adeshino and Precious Umpoyo. Adiola and Precious, are you ready?
Hi.
Always ready.
Good afternoon. We're ready.
Okay, so you have the floor. Please share your screen and get started.
Oh, sorry, Oyinda. I was looking at your 55 slides. I was waiting for you to finish that.
Oh,
But, no, it's all right. Thank you.
Is that what everybody can see? What can everybody see, please?
No, I can see the count at the bottom. That's what I was looking at. I thought we were doing the 55 slides.
Just a second, guys. Oida, I can't see your screen. I have not been able to see your screen since you started talking. It's just blank over here. So I'm hoping it's going to change when Adela shares her screen.
Can you see my
I'm not
screen?
sure it's on my end. No.
Can you see Adela's screen?
No, it's just blank over here. I think it's from my side. Can someone else?
I have to Except you leave and come back. Maybe try doing that.
Yeah, try to leave and come back because I can see it from my hand.
Okay.
Precious, can you see my screen?
I can see that, Yola, but it's the same. It's quite blurry.
Yeah, it's quite blurry.
Okay, Precious, you might have to present from your end then. I had the same issue with Teams yesterday. I don't know why this is. Precious, are you able to share from your end?
Yes, I'll share my screen now.
Okay. So Precious is going to start off for us, and then I would take up some point.
Okay. It's more clearer now.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, please go on.
All right. So my name is Precious, and I will be presenting the project on behalf of my team. So the project I will be presenting today is a design and development of e-commerce website for African food products. So to begin, our client is RKY Global Limited, and it is a retail business that specializes in authentic African food products. So as part of their growth strategy, they are looking at expanding their operations by establishing a full e-commerce platform that will enable clients to not just be able to browse products, but to place their orders and engage with the brand. So a job well done to the team. Oluwadamilola was our lead project manager, accompanied by Mariam and Antonia, who were the deputy project managers. And we also have Joseph, who is our lead BA, accompanied by Adiola Mejuri, which were our deputy BA. And well done to the team, the business analysts, project coordinators, Scrum Masters. Well done, guys, to everyone. So what is the problem with RKY Global Limited? So currently, clients are placing their orders via WhatsApp. There is no dedicated online sales platform for them to be able to showcase their product. So this has been limiting the company's ability for them to scale, to enhance customers' experience, and to stay competitive in the online food market. And so we came up with a solution. And so the solution is to design and develop a user-friendly, a secure and scalable e-commerce website so that clients can not just only view the product, but to make inquiries and for them to grow. So I would hand over now to Adiola.
Hi everyone, my name is Adiola. Thank you very much, Precious. So after realizing what the proposed solution should be, we did get this from what the speaking to the customer and the client, the sponsor, speaking to them and understanding what they actually want. We went ahead to do a structured flow that would help us to ensure the project is complete. So different stages, from establishing a communications plan, drawing out the process maps, drawing out the features, the user stories, breaking down the project so we can track properly, and also showing our reports. This shows the project process flow. Next, Precious. Sorry, we have to, yes, thank you. Here you'd see our communications plan. So what we did is the team actually, for us to share information properly, we took into consideration various factors to ensure the communication is done seamlessly. We took into consideration the communication goal, who our audience is, and the frequency of how we want to be sharing information. So you would see that Zoom cuts across everyone, but for some it was Basecamp, which is where the entire project team could get information day by day, time by time. There wasn't any breaking information. And then for the stakeholders, we didn't send them messages on Basecamp because that's a general point of communication. We did through email because their communication was not per day. It was more at different milestones and where information needed to be disseminated to them. Next page, please. And moving on from the communications plan, we looked into the problem statements and said, what is the client's current process? The process is very manual at the moment. The orders are manual, the payment, everything is done on WhatsApp. And we decided to draw a process flow map, which is the as this process flow map. We used draw.io to draw this just so that it can be easy for us to understand what the issue is, using a visual, using something visual. And from there,
because we understood that what the current process is far from what the customer actually wants and what our proposed solution is, we were able to design something we called the to be process. And that is what we did. We did it into 4 different stages. So the first stage is the landing page, which is the previous page that I was just on. We had the order processing page as well, which is the next page, and this place where you can pick you can look at all the products listing, you can look at everything that the customer has to offer on the website, and you can place an order. So it's an end-to-end process, this particular page, and we use draw.io to do the same thing. So the third stage is this one is also embedded in the second stage, but it shows the full breakdown of checkout. So because the process map is going to be a very long one, if we did show all of how the website would function, we will not be able to capture it in one process flow map. That's why we did it in different stages. And this one is the checkout and payments process. So instead of sending screenshots or receipts via WhatsApp like they normally do, we incorporated a checkout and payment process into the e-commerce website. So this is what it looks like. And we used draw.io as well to do this. Then the final stage, which ends the entire to be process, is the seamless delivery and tracking process. And this was also a very painstaking point for our clients because their tracking process was very, very manual. And a lot of complaints were coming in. They had to do some deliveries themselves. But now, if for any reason they had to do any delivery themselves, there are ways that you can track that even on the website. Next page, please. So, yes, we found out what we want to do for these people, for the clients. We've drawn it out as a process map. You can visualize it, you understand what it is. But how do we interpret this into the actual product itself? We had to go through the objectives, go through everything that we've discussed, all the high-level requirements, all the requirement gathering, elicitation, and all of that we did with the customer. We had to put everything together and then draw out main high-level objectives, which brought us to the epic list. So this epic list, we had 6 major epics that covered each of them covered every single thing that the customer wanted to see as an objective. Further down, after the epic list, we were able to break this epic list, these high level requirements, we're able to break them down into features. So what are the features that we want to see when we go into this website? What are the kind of things that we want to be able to achieve with this website? So those high level objectives were further broken down into features that need to be included in the website. Another step we took is, yes, we have the features. That's all the technical jargons. How would we interpret this to something the user can understand? Not just our client, the user as well, the person that is going to buy from Abwell. How do we interpret this? How do we break it down? Here, we brought up the user stories. So the features, the functionalities were actually now split up into short and simple informal descriptions so that we can see the perspective of the user as well as the client, because this website is not just going to be the user's platform. The client is going to do some back end changes. They're the admin. They're going to be putting their products on the website from the back end where the users can actually view. So this way, the website can be built to be a totally user-friendly one and an optimal one, which is one of the things that we said we would do in the proposed solution. Next slide. Another thing that we also did, yes, we use a lot of artifacts in business analysis, in project management as well. So another thing we had to do, we had to go a step further and do a use case diagram. We use draw.io for this as well, just like the as is and to be process. This one is where, to further drive down that we want it to be user friendly, we had to do a representation of how the users, the client, interact with the system. What do we expect to happen? So you would see here, the blue one is the user, the pink one is the admin, and then the green one is the system, which is the website itself. What is the interaction process? How is this supposed to work? All of these are actually supposed to help when we start building at the time when we were building the project, so that when we're communicating with the developer, when we're working with the client as well, we can also let them know, okay, when you see this is what is supposed to happen. Thank you. Next page. Okay. Yes, we've done the use case diagram. We also had to do something else, which is drawing and mapping out what the websites now should look like. So we started with a low fidelity wireframe and we used Balsamic for that. You can see a snapshot. So if you look at this, some people actually stop at this point. But if you look at this, you can see that we had a vision of what the website should now start looking like. What should be placed in what? What do you want to see when you get to the landing page? When you get to the tracking page, what do you want to see? So all of these other artifacts that we've been using and talking about, the user stories, the feature map, the epic list to be processed and all of that is what we used to do the wireframe, which is Balsamic. And that's a low fidelity one. A step further is doing the high fidelity prototype, but we had to base it off of the low fidelity wireframe. If you look at everything that we've been talking about, is step by step. We finish one before we move on to the next one because they're very dependent on each other. So now this high fidelity prototype is now the main thing that the developer looks at and says, okay, this is what the project team desires. In all of this, we're also communicating with the client, just letting them know, okay, this is where we are at and all of that, and tracking the process, and also letting them see an overview of what it looks like. So from here, the high fidelity prototype, we used Visily for it. From here, the developer could just get on straight to work and he knew exactly what he needed to deliver for us. Next page, please. And like I said about tracking, throughout the project and development, we broke down all of the tasks, everything that we wanted to do. Like it was a proper work breakdown structure. It was one task per time and the timelines. This is just so that we're tracking everything we're doing and we're also delivering timely. Next page, please. And furthermore, just because we've done all of that tracking, we also needed to make sure that in ClickUp, so the like I said, for the project tracking, we did that on ClickUp. ClickUp is a tool where we can actually track all the things that we're doing, put in everything and make sure people had access to it, especially when we got to the product backlog. The developer had to have access to it as well, because we needed to highlight all the features that we wanted to see, all the user perspectives, which is the user story that we wanted to see as well. And we split them up into different sprints. And this way, we're ensuring that priorities were delivered accordingly. So if you have a couple of features or a couple of objectives that were put in different sprints, say sprint 1, everything in sprint 1 needed to be completed before sprint 2 started. So sprint 1 meant these are the high level features. These ones must happen for us to say we have started the project. So that helped us keep everything in track, and even the developer could say, okay, I've done this, I've done this, I've done that. And then you would see here again, we did a sprint burn down using ClickUp. Oh, sorry, I'm echoing, sorry. Using ClickUp as well. So you see that we've done ClickUp 3 times. This tool is very, very, very efficient because we could track and centralize everything as we were working. So we tracked the sprints as well till project closure to ensure that everything that we wanted in the requirement list was implemented by the developer. Thank you very much. I'll hand over to Precious now.
So, for every project, no matter how strategic, it carries a risk. It carries risk. And so on my screen, you can see our risk, issues, and mitigation strategy in order to make sure that these are being managed correctly. So a couple of them I would just mention, like you've seen on my screen, is one of the risks was delay in sponsor approval, and the impact it had on our project was that it was the slow decision making timeline. And so for us to mitigate that, we had to follow up proactively with the sponsor and engaging them early enough so that we can get as much approvals we can get as possible. And one of the risks we did encounter, one of the issues we did encounter was that of low productivity, because this reduced delivery speed. But to mitigate that, we were able to structure our sessions and we were able to give ownerships to individual team members, because when there is ownership, there is accountability. And so we did still face a couple of challenges. And for those challenges, they included over allocation due to some inactivity with some team members. We did see technology limitations on the part of our developer. But when there's a challenge, there's always a resolution. So a resolution that we did look at was that of focusing on completing tasks that aligned with our sprint priorities, to ensure that we are focusing and to ensure that we are all aligned and our project objectives were met. So, what was the lessons learned over the course of the project? A lot of lessons were learned. We did learn that breakout rooms and individual tagging help to improve collaboration. We did learn that low engagement from team members, it does slow progress. So all team members were to be carried along while the project is being worked on. We did learn that we needed to structure our work sessions, which will help to improve our plannings and delivery. So, to summarize everything, we successfully delivered a scalable e-commerce solution. We overcome a lot of challenges that did come our way through reprioritization and we position the business for future growth. Thank you.
Just to put in, sorry, Ndamola, on the last page, we do have our product link. If you like us to show it to you what the product looks like, please let us know. But if you want to view it, okay. All right. I'll just bring that up. I don't know if I'll be able to share my screen still, but let me try again.
I have the product link on my screen.
Okay. Can you open it, Precious, so I can just go through it briefly? Thank you.
Okay, so while Precious is doing that, can you tell us about your experience in the bootcamp? How was it? From the beginning to the end, how did it meet your expectations? How did it go?
I mean, Ndamola, I don't think we should even blow RKY's horns from this, from everything that I'm sure, like, as we went on through the pages, everyone could see that a lot of work was put in. It wasn't just coming to class and listening to someone talk to you for 2 hours. It was engaging from the beginning till the end. During the project phase, every single person pulled their weight. We knew that this is business. This is what we're going to see in the real world, and even more. So we understood it, and our facilitators, our support officers, they drove that home. As I did mention in one of our meetings that one of our facilitators, every time we were trying to make a mistake, even when it was not there, at the back of your ear, you would hear him tell you, "You're not doing this right. Do it well," even if it wasn't there. But yes, it was a very, very worthwhile experience. It was worth every penny. Like I always say, I'm an advocate for RKY. I've been screaming it everywhere. I've told my sister when she finishes a master's degree, you're going to do RKY for 4 months. I've told my friends, I've told, and I'm bringing a couple of people to Limitless Without Borders. So it's a good one. You guys are doing something mind blowing, something, effective for the young, old, middle age, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. And I'm glad you actually enjoyed the whole process and it was worthwhile. Okay, so you can walk us through the website now. It's already looking beautiful and I like what I see. So, but go on.
All right, so if you see this page, like we said, when we were talking about VCL and Balsamic, if anyone remembers the low fidelity wireframe, as well as the high fidelity prototype, you would see that even to the colors, we ensured that it was reflected in VCL, which was the high fidelity wireframe. You'd see all of the positioning. This is the landing page. And let me just take you back a bit to when we were talking about the to-be process map, which was the proposed solution, but we did that on draw.io. We ensured that on the landing page, these 5 things needed to be there: home, about us, shop, track order, and contact. We replicated the same thing throughout our projects to ensure consistency. This is our landing page for Abo Global Limited, and this is the website one. So we did the website version and we did a mobile version as well. Not an app, but a mobile version. So there's a desktop version and a mobile version of the website. So here is the home page. It's very, it's very easy to navigate. You'd see all the information that you require. If you want to start shopping from here, you'd see it. You see everything about the company as well. You can see all the categories, all the products that they sell, and you can see the cart at the bottom as well. So it's a very, very user friendly. Anywhere you click, there's something. Everywhere you scroll through, there's something you can click on. I think we can move to the shop, which is the main thing actually. So yeah, shop. Yes, shop. So here the different products. There was something I wanted to show us because I don't think I mentioned it. For the ones precious, for the ones that are out of stock. If you scroll down, I think there's one on this page that's out of stock. But okay, I don't think it's the first page. Yeah, so just dry pepper. If you click on it, so for the ones that are not available, if you click on it, you would see there's an option for you to put your email so you can get notified when the product is back in stock. So we did go a step further for the clients, just so that when they do their product listing at the back end, they can also ensure that whatever products that is not available, the customer can always get a notification. I was really using ASOS at the time to a lot of us use. I think I used this, or someone else used Boohoo, just so we can understand what a website should entail, what it should actually carry. So we can go to track order, which is another thing that we really liked. But I would love for any one of you, you can go on to this website, you'd see a lot of things that you want, like that we've done in this work. It is absolute great work. In the track order, something that we also wanted to avoid is, even if you're not logged in, you should still be able to come on the website and track your order, as long as you have your order number and you have your email addresses. Some websites that you see nowadays, if you're not logged in, you can't really track on the website. But here, you just put in your order number, you put in your email address, you can track your order. And one step we did as well is, if it's not Abwell delivering and it's a third party, you can click on a link that takes you to the third party website. So if you place an order with Abwell, you would see all of that experience. And then I think a couple of other things we also made sure for compliance, because that's another thing, that's a major thing. If you scroll down, Precious, we made sure for compliance. So you see the terms and conditions, returns and refunds policy, privacy policy, and GDPR. These are very, very important for websites. So you can go through them. Some companies will not tell you what their returns and refunds policy is at the first glance, but it's right here. You can read it. You can understand what Abwell does and what Abwell doesn't do. So from here, if you have complaints, because that's another thing as well that Abwell mentioned, that they couldn't really track. If you have complaints, go to the contact us page, and then you can pick the phone number, call them, you can raise an inquiry. So here on that message type, can you click on it? Yeah, is either an inquiry or a complaint. We did that also so that Abwell can sift through from their back end what is a complaint and what is an inquiry. So they're not just looking at different messages, and they can always, when they're doing their data analysis, doing crunching data and just making sure that they are offering the best to their customers. So I hope with this few words of ours, we've been able to show you that we were actually able to complete the project and hand over to the client, and they were very happy about it. We have evidence. We got an email that said, "Congratulations, your project has been accepted. Thank you very much." Thank you, Precious.
Thank you, Precious. Thank you, Adeola. I can't see Project Ruby team member. I was expecting that you guys will be like giving kudos to Precious and Adeola. Where are your emojis? Nothing in the chat box. That's not good enough. You guys did an amazing job, and I am so proud of you guys and how tenacious you guys have been from the beginning. Right? You guys have been focused from the beginning, and it's really amazing to see everything, how insightful. You guys did your own research. I mean, I get feedbacks from your support officers, right? You guys did your research. Even before they get to the meeting, you've started working on your documentation because you already have a basic understanding of what you should do. And it's really good. It was easy for those supporting you to actually work with you guys because you made it easy and well done. I'm happy that this outcome is really, really fantastic. So I'm going to allow Shemilore and Victor to give their feedback, and then we'll move to the next thing.
Thank you very much, Adiola and the entire team. I think this was a detailed project you guys have walked through. Yeah, I think it looks really good. You going through the process, the entire thing, with the entire maps that you've gone through. I'm not a BA, but I do have an understanding because I'm a product manager. Just going back to it, as I said, the project looks really good. He did what he said he was going to do. He actualized the solution he estimated it was going to bring. But just a few feedback for me. I know it's very focused on projects and it's not products. If you can spend a bit more time us helping us understand the problem a bit more. I feel like the problem area was a bit rushed. So I was trying to understand what the problem we're trying to solve is. And then before we now go fully into the solution, I think one thing we usually try to do is before we get into solution, we have to understand what the customer complaint. Maybe you have given us an example of, this is kind of customer that we're solving this problem for. I know that may not be the work of a project manager. So I'm just giving this as a general feedback. This is the problem, or these are the people we are solving this problem for, and this is what they want. I know you guys are working with external stakeholders, right? So if I'm looking at this journey, it's a three-way system in the sense of like, okay, you are solving for a stakeholder, but the stakeholders also have customers at the end of it, right? So you have to have, interacted with the customer at the end of it, not just your stakeholders only, because the people that are going to use the solution should be giving you major feedback, not just your stakeholders. So if we could have incorporated that, okay, our customers or the customers of the merchants also said that this is what they wanted, and this was how we incorporated it into our system. I know you touched a bit on competitors. If you can go on a bit deeper into, okay, this is what our competitors are currently doing, and this is how we incorporated what they're currently doing into the problem space we are trying to solve. So generally, I think those are my major feedback, and I'll go now to the solution that your team created. I think the solution looked good. Honestly, this was one of the best. I'm just thinking about when I did my own project, our website did not look anything like this. This website looks really, really, really good, really good. Just a few bits and bobs here. I know, you guys had a very time constraints to, make the design to a very high standard, but maybe I was gonna someone design at one side of it was a bit mumbled. I'm not really sure what's going on the left hand side. When we have the cards page, I'm not really sure. Maybe everything should have gone on the main page, and then you just see your normal checkbox. Okay, this is the product I've selected. From a design perspective as well, when you click on the product, that page seems a bit empty. So when you want to do a design, I know you guys did not design it yourself, but just general feedback you have given the developers. From a design perspective, you should try to maximize the space rather than okay, where you see the card, that space. I know these are just not major things, but these are some things that would make a customer experience better. So those are my major feedback, going deeper into your customers, not just your stakeholders, and then also the design elements, ensuring that those align with, what is the industry standard or what customers would expect. But yeah, overall, I think it's a very good project. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shemilore. Thank you. Victor, over to you, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good job, Team Ruby. And I think overall, it was a really well executed project. So Shemilore, as a product manager, I think she focused on the product, which I think both of us being here is sort of a good blend. And I will be focusing on the business analysis side of things. And I've got a few points here, but they're not exactly in a particular order. So I'm just going to go through each one of them. So like I said, my perspective is strictly business analysis perspective. So first thing is I understand that this is a demo. This is something you've done as a project, but I'll try as much as possible to call you guys' attention to how things would happen in the real world. So first of all, I think you should be careful with tools dumping on your stakeholders. I see that you guys are very heavy on tools, but stakeholders don't care about your tools. Your tools, they're necessarily, they're just how you were able to come up with, how you're able to deliver your work, So in real life, when you're having conversations with stakeholders who are most likely not technical, or they don't really care about your tools, it would be better for you to focus more on the benefits than what tools you use, and how you're able to come about it. uh, for the sake of technicality, yeah, tools, they're really good. It's nice to mention them, but depending on your audience, you might have to tone down a little bit of that. Another thing is, your projects seem to look very fantastic, like you guys didn't have any problems, but it never happens like that, in real life, or in most for most organizations. So I would say, uh, if during the working on this project, if you did encounter any challenges, I would really appreciate if you guys could share it or talk about it. Please pardon the noise in my background. Um, Also, another thing I wanted to touch on is, um, we didn't start with what the problem is, right? Uh, Guys, just give me 2 minutes. Let me attend to my son. Please, sorry about that.
Okay. Um. Okay.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
everybody
back
hear
now.
me,
Sorry
please?
about that,
Okay.
guys.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. So sorry about that, guys. I'm a stay-at-home dad, so this happens almost every time. So I realized that you guys didn't say much about what the problem was, and I think Shemilori also pointed on that. Now, our role as business analysts is we're focused more on the process. You mentioned as is to be. Now, what happens in between those two positions? That's your main job as a business analyst. Also, you didn't tell us how your stakeholder engagement was. How did you identify your stakeholders? How did you prioritize what you did? You didn't say anything about testing. How did you experience any failures? What went wrong? You didn't talk about any of that. I think you guys were more interested in showing us a solution, which is beautiful. But I think in real life, things don't usually go, as planned. And I would have loved to hear you talk about that. And one last bit is, um, you didn't tell us the sort of non-negotiables. How did you prioritize the needs of your stakeholders, or of your sponsor? How did you know which features should come first or should be prioritized on the website? You didn't tell us, or the stakeholders said they needed a navigation bar to look this way for so and so reason, but we knew that was not going to work, or we tried it, it didn't work, and then we went back to the stakeholder or the sponsor with this recommendation. Because as a business analyst, you don't really have any power per se, so you give recommendations, suggestions, you advise. I didn't really see that come to play in the presentation. However, overall, I think for a happy path, I think you guys did absolutely well. I just wish you focus more on when things go wrong, what would you have done? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victor. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shemilore. Well done, Project Ruby. Okay, up next we have, let me share my screen briefly. Okay, can you guys see my screen, please?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so up next we have Project Decagon. Now, these are the product managers, right? The Scrum Master and product manager team, and they worked on the Umugo UK. The presentation would be done by Alima, Princess, and Tochukwu. Alima, are you guys ready?
Yes, we are in Damala.
Okay, please go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. Please, can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Not yet.
Yeah, I can.
Yes, we can
Yes.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone. So the Project Decagon team, we received our mandate and we're working on an already existing platform, which is the omugo.com platform. I will start with a brief introduction and context. So on our team, we were made up of 11 people. We had product owners, Scrum Masters, and we had people doubling as both the Scrum Master and product managers. The team was led by 2 product managers, Tochuku and Kola, and then we had 1 Scrum Master, which is Alima. So just to recap on everything we did, we ran a 5 sprint circle. And we used different tools, ClickUp, Google Stitch, Zoom, and the others. So that going directly into what we were asked to do or what our mandate required from us. So currently on the omugo.com platform, they currently do manual booking, which basically creates friction across the new moms and caregivers. So right now you can see list of caregivers, but there wasn't a way for new moms to basically book them. Now that was a problem we got on our mandate, and because of that, there was difficulty viewing caregivers availability, their pricing. There was delays in basically getting trusted support, and the solution on the mandate things we needed to get a seamless discovery and booking system. The vision for the product, which is the omugo.com platform, is to build a trusted platform to enable new moms discover and book reliable caregivers. But the short-term goal, which is our focus, was basically launching our core features from onboarding, discovery, and booking to basically resolve the issues that they were having. So the first thing we did as a team was to go into our search and discovery phase to basically understand the problem, understand what needs to be done, and get our problem statement ready. On this section, everybody on the team basically played a role, but because of time, I won't be calling everybody's name, but we all did it together as a team. So we first of all built out our problem map, which is basically understanding who was having the problem, where the problem was occurring, what the problem was, and why they were having that problem. Like I had said earlier, what we found out during our research was new moms were also having the problem. Caregivers were also having this problem because people couldn't find them or get their availability on time. And then families that were trying to set up care systems for their new moms in the family were also having this problem. We already know where this problem was occurring, which is the omugo.com platform. Now we know what the problem was, and why the problem was happening was because there was no way for them to basically schedule or complete their experience on the platform. Now, during this still phase of our research, we knew we had 2 major target audience that we're focused on, or who our solutions should be focused on, which is the new moms and the caregivers. Then we went down to looking into what our competitors were doing today in that space. So our 3 main competitors we looked at were the childcare platform, the Bubble platform, and the Koro Kids. So basically, our focus was on what they were doing well, where they were falling short, and the opportunities we had to basically make the omugo.com platform stand out in that space. So we knew during our competitive analysis, we understood that there was a clear market gap, basically getting caregivers that were culturally informed in that whole postpartum care, basically Nigerian or African caregivers that understood what was needed during postpartum care. Then we took it a step further to speak directly to the people that were having this problem, which is our user interviews. And during this phase, we spoke to new moms in UK. We also spoke to some of them in Nigeria just to understand what their expectations were during that process, if they've used if they've used any platform before to book caregivers, what was their pain points and all that. And then what we learned was that users basically rely heavily on word of mouth for now. They rely heavily on their families. They also were having difficulties, for those that have used platforms before, difficulties understanding caregivers availability, their pricing. Basically, a lot of manual coordination was happening, and it was stressful and time consuming for them. So our key takeaways from that was anything we're building needs to have trust, clarity, ease of booking, and basically easy for users to adopt. Then we took it another step further to understand the value proposition of our problem. So the value proposition was basically what the problem was, that's what the customers are facing, and how the company wants to solve this and how it's going to gain both parties. So we knew the pains, which is the difficulty finding trusted caregivers. We knew their gain was going to be basically easy discovering caregivers, transparent information, reliable services. And to enable us to achieve this was we're going to provide verified caregiver profiles. We're going to give them a seamless booking system and basically a rating and trust building features that would ease this process. That then took us into our second phase, which is our product design and our backlog grooming. So during our user research and discovery, we were able to build out certain features that tie into what our expectation was. And these are the key areas that we're looking at getting. So our user onboarding, caregiver profile, marketplace, payment system, and admin port at high level. Then we broke that down to our epics using ClickUp, and then our key user stories. So our key user stories was basically new moms that are looking for caregivers. They need to be filtered by location, availability, price. They want to also be able to see their caregivers' availability during their recovery period. While for the caregivers, we knew their key user stories was they want to be able to share their availability, make changes to their availability, basically have freedom to control their schedules as well. Then we worked into our process flows. So our process flow, we use the ClickUp whiteboard and Miro, basically understanding the user journey, how users are going to interact with the feature we're building. So for caregivers, we knew you need to create a platform, you need to add your experience, set up your accounts basically, and submit it for someone to approve before you get visible on the platform. Now for the new moms, we knew they need to get to their caregiver's profile, check their availability, select their time, book your appointment, and then receive confirmation. Once we had this sorted down, we then moved into our product design, which was basically the interface to describe the user journey. Now, during our project phase, at this point, actually, we hit a roadblock. Our team didn't have a dedicated product designer. And the platform was already a live platform, so we didn't have access to their existing UIs. So we then had to pivot, and our stakeholder or our instructor on the team introduced us to Google Stitch to help us build out our design, our UIs basically. So what you're seeing now is screenshots from Google Stitch, which we used to build out our interface. Then that takes us to how we basically developed this. So I'll hand this over to my colleague, so she would speak more on the development phase. Alima.
Thank you, Princess. Hi, everyone. For our development phase, a couple of communication plans were put in place to help us communicate effectively. We had our Scrum ceremonies practices utilizing ClickUp via Zoom meetings. Stakeholder updates and other issues encountered are addressed via Basecamp, Zoom, and ClickUp. Next, we structured our backlog and adopted the Moscow prioritization features, which are the must have, should have, could have, and won't have. This method helped us deliver our MVP smoothly. We emphasize on core features such as onboarding, profiles, etc. Non-essential features were pended as we have limited time frame to deliver. More so, the prioritized feature has been fully scoped out, including user stories and acceptance criteria. We proceeded to our sprint planning session, which totaled to 5 sprint points, which ran for a week duration. Our burn down legacy and chat helped us streamline and track our process. During this phase, we had some sprint activities rolled over from one sprint to the other. It allowed our backlog grooming session concise, which enabled us to prioritize features that won't fit because of our 7 weeks timeline. This also allows our developer work on features that are mostly prioritized and went on to the development stage. I'll be handing over to my colleague Tochiko to walk us through the next phase.
Thank you, Halima. Hi, everyone. So for this phase, we focus on insights and learnings that we got through the project phase. Now, due to time and complexity, we deferred some features to post MVP, just so we can stay focused on the solution's core functionality. So under our challenges, we faced challenges around developer transition, given that we had to work with a different developer from the ones who built the website initially. We also faced the challenge of limited resources and evolving structure, all of which required us to stay adaptable. And this is the core, this adaptability is the core essence of the Agile framework. Now, the whole experience reinforced the importance of early alignment, especially with stakeholders and the sponsor, and then that of having a clear roles spelled out and continuous communication. Overall, the bootcamp gave us hands-on experience and significantly improved our confidence in real-world product delivery. We would strongly recommend the bootcamp for anyone looking to gain practical hands-on product experience. Our appreciation goes to all the people that made our time here very memorable, starting from Banti to Abdul, and then Oyindamola from RKY, and their support officers, Ibrahim, Precious, and Opeyemi Abi. Now we are ready to demo the Omogo platform. So I'll be sharing my screen and taking you to the website. Please, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so this is the Omogo platform. This is the landing page for the Omogo platform. And if you were to be a nanny or a caregiver looking to get on the platform, you'd go to become a nanny up here, and it will take you to a section where you fill out your details. But if you were to be a new mom, you'd go through Get Started, and this will take you to where you also register your account and begin. Now, for the sake of time, I'll be using an account we've already created for a new mom, and then I'll use that to demonstrate how the platform functions.
Please, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Mary and Adidu. So I would like to confirm this track. Can I transition from healthcare to tech while on COS?
Is this question for us or for RKY? Is it for the demonstration?
Oh, okay.
After, yeah, it's a difference. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so once you've logged in as a new mom and you fill out your details, you find a nanny. And this is the marketplace. So originally, all bookings on the Omogo platform was happening offline, and this was creating a lot of friction. And this was actually our mandate. This was the main thing that we came in to do, to actually create a marketplace where people can book online. and then conduct their services here. So their business is here. Here we have a few profiles that you can go through, which runs to another page. Now, if I were to want to contract the services of this person here, Precious Haley, I would view her profile first. And if I'm satisfied with what I'm seeing, for example, there are years of experience, reviews that she has had, these identity values, service rates, background, and everything else, I'll proceed to book now. I'll choose my start date, choose the end date. Then I also choose the care type. So for example, if I want the caregiver to be with me during the daytime or overnight, or to stay with me, to live in the house with me for a period of time. So I'll choose overnight here. How many hours per day I want her services? I can say 8 hours. Any special instructions? For example, I can say I like hot pepper soup. And then you have your booking summary here. Then I can proceed to payment. So here I'll be prompted to put in my card details. And my booking is confirmed. If I go back to my dashboard and go to my bookings, I'll be able to see the booking I just made right now. And if I click on this button here, I can still view the full details of that booking. If I were to log into the account of this caregiver here, I'll see this exact details, this exact booking, and then I can accept the booking or not. Obviously, there were things that we had to drop, that we had to reprioritize, like in-app messaging system, because of time and constraint and other constraints available. But with this, the caregiver and the new mom can actually conduct business and get everything over and done with. Again, because of time constraints, I won't be able to take us through the caregiver's account. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Well done, Project Decagon. Thank you so much, Halima, Princess, and Tochukwu. So I'll leave Shemilore and Victor to give you feedback. Shemilore, over to you, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Project Decagon. I think you guys have done a very good job. I've written a list of some things I just want us to walk through as you guys were going through your projects. Starting with what you guys have done really well. I think you guys started off with the product discovery phase. You guys did that quite well. I think initially the first presenter started off with, okay, this was the mandate you guys were given. But I love the fact that this transition outside of the mandates into this was not, we looked into the problem, because essentially product management is not just about your stakeholders telling you what to do, right? You need to take their feedback and then you do your own research. So I love the fact that you guys, you took the stakeholders research, but you did not just go off running with it, right? You took that step to, go do your own product discovery process, understanding your customers, what they want, what they would like. So that was very good. I love the fact that you guys also triangulated the problem, right? Triangulated in the sense of like, okay, our stakeholders have said, this is the problem. You guys did your own research. You got insight from your customers, by speaking with them through the interview. Another thing, since this is an existing platform, is to also look at the data points, right? If you have data, looking at maybe there's a drop off in somewhere, looking at the customer review data, seeing what customers are saying, using that, because the essence of it is to triangulate that data to build a solid business case that there is a main problem you are solving here. So I really like that. And out of that, you guys, use empathy to understand that it's trust, that the major problem that we're trying to solve for here, it's not necessarily the care platform, but it's the trust problem. So I love the fact that you guys now brought about that. Okay, one of the key things we are solving for here is the trust. We want new moms to be able to trust our platforms and the solution that this platform is offering. So I think overall, those were the major things that stood out for me. I love that product discovery process that you guys did really well. So now going on to what you guys can improve on is maybe creating an OKR. So like, this is the objective you're trying to solve for, and this is how we will test that this problem has been solved. So if you're saying you are solving for trust, how do we test at the end of the day that that trust has been solved for, right? It now goes to your solution as well. If you look at the solution, you are not showing us how that problem was solved. You are just showing us a product demo of what the platform already exists. So I would imagine, like, if you're solving for the problem of trust, are you going to have, a 5-star rating system on the platform? I think it was mentioned in the solution, but when it was being displayed, that wasn't shown. Are you going to have a rating system on the platform? Because essentially, how would new moms trust your platform? So your OKR should show that this is the outcome you're trying to achieve, and this is how we would test that outcome has been achieved through your key results. So that wasn't also shown. But one other thing, I think sometimes you guys are missing solution. I think it's the mistake, we usually can make. All of us are guilty of it, of thinking solutions first, rather than still sitting on this problem for a while, because actually what you're thinking you're solving for, that may actually not be the main user's pain point. So once you go out to like, okay, we know the problem, we're going to start solving for solution, you can easily start solving for what customers are not even asking you to solve for. So don't have a solution mentality, just think of problem, immerse yourself as much as you can in the problem. And even when you generate your solutions, it's now going to the other point you can improve on, is like, have okay, you said you showed the review system, maybe I missed that. Have a process, a prioritization system for you to measure your solution. So rather than say, okay, we are choosing this solution, how did you decide on the solution to solve for? Do you have the capacity to solve for it? Is it viable? Is it feasible? Is it actually what customers want? So there are metrics you must use to gauge whether this solution is what we are meant to solve for at this point. So you can even say, oh, we are going to have an AI system or whatever. But at the moment, is that the right thing for you to solve for? So I know you chose a solution, but maybe you guys did it internally, but show us like a system where you use to judge that this is the main solutions we are going to solve for. I think I've mentioned on testing. When you have your prototype, right? Did you test it with users? Did you see if that prototype? Eventually, add the impact you're trying to make it have, right? So that's where I go back to your OKR. You need to have your assumptions and your hypothesis, right? Because the hypothesis is basically what is guiding you. You are not sure whether your solution will actually deliver that trust you're saying it would. But if you don't test it at the end, how would we know whether it was successful or not? So the idea of product management here is that you're not just dumping solutions. We want to test whether this problem we are solving for trust, we are saying we are going to have a review system or whatever. Does that review system actually solve the problem of trust for customers? So I think that marriage always has to be shown, like, okay, how does the solution we're saying we're solving for and this thing, does it actually work? I think that's a very important part. So I think this was my major feedback. But as I said, overall, very good, strong product discovery system. But as I said, don't over rely on, don't go straight into the solution process. I really like this. So thank you, everyone. I really hope that feedback was useful for you guys, and you guys can take that knowledge going forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emily. Thank you. That was very, very detailed. But okay, I think one of them dropped a chat, a message in the chat box. There's a background check as well done to vet the caregivers onboarded to the platform. Oh yeah, I remember they mentioned that during one of their stakeholder meetings, but they probably couldn't show that because of time constraints. They had just 15 minutes for the presentation. But yeah, thank you, Kola, and thank you, Shimiluri, as well. Victor, over to you, please.
Yeah. So I think a lot of things they did a lot. They did a lot of things right, and Shemilori has already touched on a lot there. And they talked about their prioritization method using the Moscow, which is really good. They talked about their problem statement. I think they really started off really good. And one thing that I really like is that customer journey. It looks very seamless, and I appreciate that. Then someone did mention that uh, they stayed adaptable, but I would have appreciated if you had told us what happened, how you were able to uh, pivot or stay adaptable. I think these are really strong points that would be helpful for you, especially when you start your role as a business analyst, either in the public sector or wherever. All of these problems. Even in your interviews, I remember my first interview. I was asked to do a presentation on how I'm going to solve a particular problem the council was facing. That was my interview. So and that's why I sound like I'm always focusing on I'm being pessimistic because that's just how it works. They're more interested in solving problems that already exist. So you have to come with that mindset of yeah, I've faced challenges, I've faced problems, and this and that. What I did about it. Another thing is, this was an existing solution that you just sort of improved. I would have loved to see a before and after. This is what it looks like before, and this is what it looks like now. I know you did mention that the processes were manual and you automated them, to some extent, but that's sort of comparison from what existed before. From what existed before. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. What's going on? Someone called me. Oh shit. Oh goodness. Okay. Can you still hear me, guys? So sorry about that.
Yes,
Someone
please.
called me and then it messed up with my whole setup. Yeah, so I was talking about the before and after that. I'd have appreciated if you showed us what it looks like and what it is now. Also, you didn't talk about testing, but I think Shemilore already did a good job explaining that. But another bit, the bit I didn't hear was risks. I didn't hear a lot about risk, and this sounds like a solution that would have some sort of regulatory red tapes around it. I know you did mention background, but I don't think that's enough because this has to deal with new moms, this has to do with babies, this has to do with, and depending on, even regardless of what geographical area this is, I think HIPAA laws are applicable globally, and I'm sure there are also local laws that would be applicable to this kind of service. So I wish you had, stayed on that a little bit more. But overall, the website looks really beautiful, looks very professional, and like I said, the customer journey seemed very straightforward. So kudos to you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Victor. Thank you, Project Decagon. Okay, so quickly we'll move to the next theme, which is Project Vital. And the presentation will be done by Abdullahim Ajenifuja and Edwin Kam. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Abdullahim, are you ready? Are you guys ready?
Yes, we're ready. I'm going to present in a few seconds.
You have the floor, please.
Yeah. Just trying to share my document now. What else am I asking? I couldn't find the window. Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Good afternoon. My name is Abdul Alim. I'm presenting for the Project Vital. This is the website redesign for Girard Healthcare Consulting. Girard, so about the project, basically, Girard is a healthcare consulting. They already have an existing website layout and they want us to do a redesign and a UI UX upgrade for the project. We have two project leads. One is Alonge Gloria Adebokola, who is the project lead, and the other is Baba Femi Aluko, who is the lead BA. This project started on the 1st of March and ended on the 26th of April. Okay, these are the team members. So we have 27 members in the team, and their roles are well explicated. I acted as the Scrum Master of the team. We have others who are hybrid business analysts as project manager, PMO analyst, project coordinator, project managers, and as well as BAs. So first is just the key takeaways from the live sessions we had. These live sessions helped us, they were structured lectures that helped us with, they took care of several aspects of project management and business analysis, and each session we had a recap of previous topics that we've done, and then key takeaways at the end of it, which came handy for all of the attendants. The instructors were also when they went into the nitty-gritty of all of the things that we learned during the live sessions, which were also what we applied during the project phase of the whole project. We also had a lot of exposition into AI tools, and we had a lot of iterative application during the project phase as well. So about the project, basically, Girard Healthcare, I mentioned earlier, is a consulting firm. Their current website had a poor UI UX experience, limited mobile responsiveness across all other mobile browsers, which negatively impacted user engagement, brand credibility, and because they're in a competitive society, they needed an ability to attract and retain clients, because if they are not able to do that, they will lose customers to their competitors. So our focus was to design and build the website to have a more user-centered experience, which were within a limited time and budget constraint, of course. So we used waterfall and agile frameworks during the course of building this project. And why did we use the tool was because the project required structured planning, iterative execution. And if you wonder why waterfall specifically, it's because it ensures like a clear upfront requirement and approval, from from our sponsor, and also robust documentation and design alignment. And while the agile methodology, helps us track our sprints, achieve clear goals, deliver incremental improvements as we progress. And of course, these are the key benefits we had in combining the two. We had enhanced flexibility, faster time to market, higher product quality, very good documentation, strong team collaboration. So objectives of this project, like to flesh it out, is firstly to redesign the entire homepage experience, improve information architecture generally of the whole system. Also, meet up with the new age aesthetics and standards in terms of giving users the required experience aesthetically. Increase engagement, of course, with clear CTAs, call to actions, which were found wanting in the previous experience that they had. Also enhance readability, through the improved information architecture, and ensure full responsiveness, which was one of the key things that we tested against when we finished the design, and enable easy content management via a central management system that our client is able to access on the back end. We had a budget of 5,000 all through. We can see that this executive stage we had much more spending because we had to, involve developers and other professionals that we used in the project, and of course the initial stage and the closure stages both took 500 each. The break So at the end of sprint one, these were part of the deliverables. The team successfully delivered approximately 50% of our defined epics, which I'll mention in a few slides now. Despite some challenges, sprint goals were met, reflecting a level of consistency in execution. Success for this project is also measured through key performance indicators like the increased click-through rates, improved customer conversion, and the rise in consultation requests. Okay, so these were the areas we worked on in our deliverables: approved UI/UX design mockups before we proceeded, navigation and structure improvements, content layout and styling, very good CMS integration, which was not in the case before, improved accessibility across browsers and devices, fully developed responsive websites, and of course, a very good CMS pack and training. So what Gerard's website process flow looks like before the start of the project is exactly this. Areas to focus on would include the fact that on the services page, there's not much well there. So you go to the services page, you just see basic information, and they have multiple services, but the customer is not able, or the user of the website is not able to access all the services in the way they are supposed to be architecturally displayed. And they just then go to a consultation page that does not even give further details that they need, and they're not able to perform all of these actions successfully. Same thing applies to the job and vacancies. They want to apply for job, but the process is also seamless. I would show it's not seamless as it should be, and I will show that on the when we are done. Also, the contact us page, they are not able to fill a form and make an inquiry from the existing experience, which we also came to optimize. And see, this is what the proposed website process flow looks like once we are done. You see, pay attention to the services page, and we have options of customer exploring business services separately and individual services separately. They're able to book the services based on what they want, because there is a multitude of options to select from, and they can then come to where they book a consultation. From that, complete consultation form, submit, and of course get feedback. I'm unable to show all of that because of my time constraint, but I'll move to the high-level objectives based on the as-is and to-be processes that I've already mentioned. So we had 9 lists of epics, which are basically the areas that we want to cover for this project: user experience, service categorization, responsive website experience, and all of the things I've tried to mention before. So these epics are further broken down into features and user stories, created to to further break down the epics that I've listed in the previous slide, and now into smaller tasks that are now handy. So we ranked the feature, and also when we broke down into user stories, we ranked them based using Moscow. Right, and we prioritized these features using the Moscow system, which is the must-have, should have, could have, and would not have. So then or they would have rather. So when we did this prioritization, then we also came up with user stories, which you can see as a user. I want to see a clear headline and value proposition so that I can quickly understand what the organization offers and all of what follows. So we give scenarios based on this, and then these are basically what we created tasks upon. And then we added all of these epics, of course, into our sprint planning initially. Okay, when I get there, I'll mention that. So these are just more user stories based on the things I've already mentioned in the first instance. So these are like a map showing the prioritized features. So we had special business services landing page. Then we also had individual consultancy services landing page. And this is very specific to Gerard's operation, because we had a back and forth and meeting with the stakeholders of Gerard, as well as they already have a clear requirement, high level requirement based on their own research of their users and so we just work based on what they've already done and confirm that those pain points were genuine. And then once we confirmed and they've done some homework before we took on the project, and then we just had to execute based on that. So of course these are part of their pain points, having specialized business services, individual consultancy services, existing content audit and migration, to the redesigned structure that we're making. Also a global navigation menu, which was found wanting in the previous experience, a sticky header bar with a primary call to action, standardized page template, and of course there's more to that, which are part of the perks that we had to work upon to make the whole goal achieved, which was the responsive grid layout for mobile, tablet, and desktop across basic devices and browsers. Page and media content editor interface, which was not in the case before. CMS have talked about that. Inquiry form, which was also not in the previous experience. Consulting, booking, social media, footer links, and of course testimonies. Here in the previous experience, they did not have a testimony, a clear-cut client testimony, which is exploratory, but we included that in this new one. So after all of this we've worked on, then we came up with wireframes. We had low and high fidelity wireframes. This is just like an outlook of the home page wireframe here, and then the high fidelity here on the right hand side. So generally, how we communicated throughout the project, communication across board, up and down, to the stakeholders, to the sponsor, and then within the team itself. We used Campfire basically for internal project team, Zoom for meetings and all of that, recording, ClickUp for project management, tracking and all of that, Basecamp for documentation, and emails for the rest. So part of the key reports we generated during the course of the project includes these 4 categories: checklist, highlights, status reports, and of course the end state reports. Each of these have their own specific features, like tracking, planned tasks versus actual progress of that particular weekly task, summarization of the overall project and performance generally, status reports on what the high level requirements that we're working on, the functionalities are working on, what is the status about it, and how are we moving to time. And then of course the end state report, which is like a comprehensive review of each of the phases that the team has to go through. So the timeline of the initiate phase of the project, showing how tasks were commenced and completed, is what we have on this particular page. And you can see it breaks down the timeline and all the epics that we had, all the tasks that we had to do and how we completed them. Same we have here for the define stage. Same thing for the execute stage here, showing how tasks were commenced and completed, and then the execute at the closure stage of the whole project. Here we have the list of epics that were completed in the first sprint and the general timeline it took, just basically 1 week, 30th of March to 5th of April. Same thing with the second sprint. Initially, we had just 2 sprints. However, we encountered some challenges when we were working with the developer, and we had some, the UI design took a while as well as, the commencement of development. So we had to also roll the backlogs of items that we couldn't meet up in the second phase into a new sprint, which is the third sprint, where we now have to work on some of the things that we planned for the sprint in order not to defeat the goals that we've set out for each of the sprints. And yeah, we did finish to time. So some of the major challenges faced, we just summarized into 3 here. During the execution of the project is firstly less engagement of some persons, causing workload imbalance. Of course, lack of familiarity with some tools such as ClickUp, Balsamic, and Vasily, which we also solved in the next slide I'll show. Lag in the collaboration, coordination, and accountability of team members as well. How did we solve these challenges is to have defined clear roles and accountability strategy. So we monitored individuals based on their roles and the tasks we've given them. We implemented the sprint-based performance tracking on ClickUp, And how did we do that? Even though many of us did not know how to use ClickUp from the onset, so we had to upskill within the team on some of these key tools, and monitored ourselves. We also enhanced remote collaboration. That is the second to third week, to ensure that the tasks that we're handing over to one another, we are getting to do them. So we, through team pings within the team, it's just like a breakout of the major team into smaller teams that can actually work together. And we did. Were able to overcome these challenges. So part of the risks we encountered, and how did we mitigate them? We had browser compatibility issues across all browsers. When we finished, where we were at the testing stage, we checked against this, and we had some challenge with this as well. We did fix them: Chrome, Edge, Firefox, and Safari. So how did we mitigate this? To conduct timely testing across these browsers. Same as stakeholder availability, which was a high risk, and then we scheduled approval checkpoints early before, and of course chase after our sponsor or stakeholder. Unexpected absence of team, and many more. So one of the higher ones is also limited team familiarity with VCLI, which is our prototyping tool, same as the BPMN tool we use for the business process flow map. Okay. Lessons learned, it includes, we just categorize them into 4 areas: the project foundations, project discipline, process discipline, capability development, and execution optimization. So early tool practical onboarding is critical to avoid initiation delays. In the process discipline is just how to ensure that we keep to what we have planned, and that will be we need to standardize the use of project management tools. Many of these we learned from them at the 3rd week of commencement, and we're able to implement them moving forward. And that also includes the execution optimization, proper allocation, and role clarity, which are also key to balancing the workload and other prompts that we have there. This is what the current experience looks like. I'm going to show a quick overview of what the current one looks like, and I said I was going to do that earlier. So the initial website we worked on, this is how it looks like. You just have a page like this. It's not so iterative. Just maybe one testimonial and the contact us form, which sometimes you engage and doesn't submit. And then on the careers page as well, we have some items. So there's a bit of redundancy on the page as well. Book a consultation. Okay, there's a process here already. We just optimized it. On the services page, this is what we have, and we believe that there could be more to this, and we optimized all of this. Schedule a consultation, comes back to the inquiry form as well. So I think that's what we have on the current experience, and this is the improvement we had. This is how the new experience looks like. You can see that we did work on optimizing the information architecture. We had an accessibility tool here that can help individuals who need some support navigate the experience here, which is part of what part of our high level requirements. We also so we had strategic solutions. I'll go to the services basically because it was one of the main areas. So we had a drop down showing business and individual services. So there's a special page for business services. Then individuals can see and learn more based on each of the services that Jira offers. And when they see the procedures that they have under each of these service, then they see the approach, who it's meant for, basically, and then they can go ahead to either book a consultation or and then they see more information. And we also have an easy accessibility as well on this page. If this person experiencing this process wants to switch into a business service, and so they can fill the form and request a discovery session, and then the admins or the customer services can then get back to the individual. So there's more that we have there. The careers page, which was optimized the insights and resources that Girard has for their customers to experience. We also, give all of this here, and creating different case studies that can be explored to have more exploration into Girard's facilities and tools. So also we have an application form based on their current operation that helps them. So users can fill such a form and then be on the backlog of job backlog of Girard, basically. And on the contact us as well, there's also a form to fill besides the information that Girard wants us to provide to the customers. I think I'm going to stop here. We also have the footer that allows easy access to all other areas. So I'm going to stop here at the moment. Thank you very much for listening.
Well done, Abdullahim. That was a very, very detailed presentation. Well done. Well done. So briefly, in just a minute, because our time is fast spent, how was the experience? How would you say your experience was?
Yeah, the experience with RKY generally on this PMBA course was exceptional, I would say. I've attended a couple of courses in the past, and I would say this one is on a different level. Not just because of the live sessions, but the bootcamp, the project bootcamp is very hands-on, is highly hands-on, and there's something that struck me differently that I've not experienced elsewhere, and is the ability of the facilitators to be very keen. They have a very good eye for details, and you think something misses them, is going to miss them, or you get a freeway, but they catch it out quickly in no time, and then they go into the very details of it, which is something I think is worthy of keeping, maintaining. I mean, the RKY should keep that up. The detailing, go into the nitty gritty, the minutest detail of something that you are working on. They don't let it go. So, and even if that thing is going to take time, and so it is like the student is the one who is concerned about time being going and being fast spent, but the facilitators are just about perfection of or you applying the right knowledge, and I think that's something to keep up. Thank you. Indamala, you're muted. We can't hear you.
So sorry about that. Thank you so much, Abdul. Okay, so let's get feedback from Shemilori and Victor. Please, let's keep it short because we still have one more theme and our time is fast spent.
Sure. Thank you once again for Project Girard. What you guys did well in terms of alignment with stakeholders. I know there was a lot of conversation regarding that, you guys wanting to align with stakeholders to prioritize some of the, requirements that you got because you don't have all of the time to develop every single thing. So you guys did that well, using that Moscow prioritization method. I also like the way you showed the roadmap because, when you have a lot of pressing priorities, it can all be done at once. So the roadmap was also a very good thing that you guys did. In your design, your solutions, I can see the improvement from what it was previously to what it is now. So with the new design, there are clear call to actions, and those, in terms of design, those are well labeled. I know what actions you're prompting me to make, so that's good. Another thing in terms of design is alignment across pages, so you can see that the text aligned across the various pages from services to about now to the home page, so that's a good one as well. I also like the fact that you showed us what it was previously and what it is now. So, going back to that, the old design method and what you guys have done to improve it. So very well done to the team on that. In terms of what can be improved, I know when during your presentation you mentioned, okay, the way we're going to test the success of this website is through the click-through rates. Looking at that, there was no there was nothing to measure that was a success. It can just be like, oh, this is a new design project, but how are we sure that the impacts we want this health solution platform to make, we're actually achieving it through this new platform? So that'd be nice to say, okay, we tested this out across maybe a select user group. Did you do a focus group, asking users to use it? How did they find the journey? Was it better now? Were they able to easily book applications, right? So those are some of the things we want to think about. Did we test this thing? Does it actually work? Or these solutions we've implemented, how did our users perceive it, and does it solve the solution we aimed for it to do? And lastly, this just general feedback on the presentation. I think the presentation was very good. But I think the presentation was very heavy on process, very heavy on, okay, this is what we did. I would have loved it to be more strategic in the sense of like, okay, this is the problem we're solving for. This is what the impact is going to be. But overall, well done to everyone that participated within this project. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Shemilore, Victor, over to you.
Thank you very much, guys. So I think you guys have outdone yourself, and it's quite comprehensive. And I like all of the. Maybe it's because it was a combination of both waterfall and agile. Because a lot of people who focus only on agile, they tend to lack documentation. And I appreciate the fact that you guys are able to break almost everything down. And just to a little bit of detail here, I think it also aligns a little bit with what Shemilore mentioned, because you did highlight the priorities. Business service landing page, I think there's that. Consultancy landing page, I'm not sure if I saw that. Content edges, I'm not sure how you did that or how you show us that you did that. Maybe I missed it. Feel free to show me. The new menu, I think there's a new menu. CTAs, I think there is CTAs. And you did mention page templates. I'm not sure you showed that to us. Okay. But overall, I think it's well executed. However, for all of the teams that I've presented, I'm not sure if you worked with a requirements document or a BRD or something like that. I was really hoping you could show us, and so we can have a better understanding of the details and information you captured during your stakeholder meetings and engagements. I just wanted to see how that document looks like. In case you have it, it would be really nice to see what it looks like. But overall, I think it's an amazing implementation, and the website looks, because depending on on where the product or the solution was coming from. Right now, it looks more user friendly. The user experience is a lot better, and it looks like something that I would use over and over again. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Project Vital. Well done to you guys. Okay, so quickly we'll move to the last and final team, which is Project Nexora. And the presentation will be done by Oluwadamilare and Emmanuel. They worked on the RightTime Consulting website. I think they did a website upgrade or added a new feature. I'm not sure, but they would explain that. Oluwadamilare, are you here?
Emmanuel is here.
Yes, I am, but Emmanuel.
Okay. You guys should start your presentation, please.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for. I'm just going to share my screen now. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, please.
All right.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
We'll try to make this as fast as possible. Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, my name is Emmanuel. I'm presenting on behalf of Project Nexora, and so our project is, RightTime Consulting website redesign project. So, RightTime Consulting, have a they had, I would say, because we have finished the work now, they had an existing website, but the website was not delivering what it should. We'll get into that as we progress in the slide. And we were called to make some changes. We'll show you all of that shortly. So this is, it's an 8 weeks project. The budget was about £5,000 and, all what have you. Now, these are the key facts at a glance. We started on the 1st of March and we're able to deliver within time. And so what we need to do is to redesign the website layout and, do some UI UX upgrade, amongst other things, which we would discuss shortly. Yeah, so these are the wonderful professionals who put this project and made sure it was a success. The lead project manager, Miriam, to the deputy project manager, Maureen. We also have Deborah, and a host of other active professionals, I would say. We have more here. Everyone contributing their quota to ensure that we deliver this project within record time, which we did, by the way. Yeah, so very quickly, just a brief about, our clients. Right Time Consulting is a professional services firm that provides strategic consulting to individuals and businesses. So it's a consulting firm, as I have said. And but of course, their website wasn't given what it should give. It wasn't delivering, it was, permit me to use the word, it was boring for this new age. And they wanted it to have some modern features and some things to make sure that their target audience find their website, usable. And of course, they gave us the website of Anchor Consult, another competing consulting firm, to use as a benchmark for just to give us an idea of what they are looking at, right? And so this is the problem itself. So the current website, the previous website, I would say now, because we had changed it now, but I would say that old website, it lacked a modern design, it lacked intuitive structure, it also lacked engaging user experience. So it made it difficult for visitors to quickly understand what RightTime was all about, what were their value propositions, what were their services. And of course, this led to limitations in user engagement, and it weakened the company's online brand perception, most especially in a world where we are all digital right now. So their online brand perception was very poor and very weak, I would say. So these are the major problems they needed their website to address. And definitely they needed a modern, user-centered redesign. And that exactly is what we did. So in a glance, you could see that they had poor user experience. Visitors cannot quickly understand what the firm was about, weak brand perception, like I've said, and low engagement. Now, what was our proposed solution? As you can see, to tackle the poor user experience, and we had to change, we had to work on the home page and core pages, redesign it completely, using modern structured layouts that would clearly communicate RightTime's value proposition and improve the overall visual appeal, such that when you look at the website, you are curious to find out more because it looks interesting and it has more information that tells you what the company is all about, right? So also the weak brand perception, talking about the, basically most of this solution kind of like cut into each other if you look at it, right? So the UI UX is also going to address some of these problems. The navigation and site menu would address the low engagement, because it's going to give simplified menu, improved information architecture, sticky headers, and call to actions to guide the user journey across all pages. Yeah, so of course I could go on and on. Responsiveness and performance also has its own role, and the content management system, the CMS, also to ensure that they can always add and update their content independently without the need for a developer. All right. So of course these solutions became, the project objectives, as it were. The proposed solution that were approved became the proposed project objectives. As you can see, the redesign. So we had to redesign the homepage layout to immediately communicate the value proposition, and all of this we just did to make sure that we were tackling the project from the solution. So we knew the problem that we were solving, and we were going head on at them one after the other, right? So these are the things we did. But number 7, we provided easy content editing, like I mentioned shortly, through a content management system, so that they could easily update their website at will, you know. And then, of course, we integrated modern UI patterns, white space usage, and content hierarchy for better storytelling, such that the platform is no longer, in quotes, boring. Yeah, thank you very much. So what were the key project deliverables? We had 6 core deliverables defined in the mandate that we had received, and of course, I had mentioned them in the previous slide. If you check over here, the proposed solution, you'd see that the warehouse layers redesign, navigation and structure, CMS implementation, and every other thing necessary for the website to give, in quotes. I'm using a Gen Z terminology now. We wanted the website to give what it should give, what the client wanted it to give, and truly that's exactly what we delivered. Very quickly, we look at take you through the process, the project process snapshots, and of course we use the agile methodology. First and second week was the initiate phase, where we were doing the elicitation requirements and every other thing in between. Week 3 and week 4 we had user stories. That was the define stage and all of that. Of course, it took about 3 weeks to execute, with the developer, including on week 7 we're doing the product testing to be sure that everything was working, and we had to edit here and there and ensure that we delivered within time. By the 8th week we obtained client acceptance. In short, as a matter of fact, the client was very pleased with our delivery. I need to mention that, very pleased with the delivery, and I'm sure we probably will be getting more projects from them, or referrals, I would say, just because we were able to deliver within record time, and we delivered beyond expectation. Yeah, the communication plans, as you can see, is majorly during the project. Most of our communication, if not all, I would say, was on Basecamp, using Campfire. But then for our stand-ups and every other meeting, once in a while, our stand-ups usually were daily. Sometimes we had multiple stand-ups even in a day, afternoon, evening, just to meet that time frame. We had those on Zoom, and of course, as you can see, we had different audiences for different meetings. This is also even the BA weekly review and all of that on Zoom. But of course, the Basecamp generally and Campfire generally were the primary source, and even the Zoom link and all were shared on the Basecamp. So that's where we were, I would say. So we had a clear communication plan from the get-go, and people knew where to go to get the schedule, what time is the meeting, and how do we join. Everything was clearly stated on Basecamp, and we had that in our communication plan ab initio. Right. So this is the what's it called, as is process map, and I would say that this is permit my English, as was. This was how it was because this is no longer how it is. This was how it was before we, worked on it. And yeah, and of course, this is the to be, which is currently as it is now in the finished stage. So this is what we changed it into. I might not have time to go into this, but we did this using the Microsoft Visio. So yeah, to get this process map in place. The high level requirements very quickly. We had about 15 required, 15, high level required requirements, I would say, user experience and interface, you know, including social media integration and every other thing. Most of these you would see the significance of these requirements in challenging the problem that was at hand there. And all of this, I believe, came in handy to solve the problem that was on ground. Yeah, so at this point, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague and pick it up towards the end.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you, Emmanuel. So the future map, this is what we're looking at, is just basically the visual blueprints that translate our high level requirements into structured deliverable features. So we took all 15 requirements areas and broke them down into tangible components and the team so that the team could use to design, build, and test. So we just see this feature map as what's a bridge between what the client needs and what we actually deliver. So moving to the epic, next slide, please. For the epic, from the feature map, we were able to define 10 epics. So they were grouped from based on our top priorities. We marked them as must have. The must have include the brand identity, navigation and information architecture, service showcase, contacts and inquiry management, the CMS and the likes. Then while we have the supporting priorities, which is the should haves, which cover the insights, thoughts, leadership, testimonials, and the SEOs. So every epic that you see on this list were just anchored to the user story. So written from the perspective of what the visitor wants to say. So the team was able to keep to that and make sure the end user focus is visualized. So the next slide, please. From the epic, we were able to use that to get our user stories with clearance acceptance clearance criteria. This is where we got the precise and we got really precise. So we were defining what was done and looks like from every feature we were able to get from the high level requirements. So the acceptance criteria were essential for our testing phase. So which gave the developers and the QA team a shared definition of what we want it to look like and the success we are able to achieve. So this at this point in time in the user stories, we make sure there was no guesswork, no ambiguity at all. Then the next slide, which is the user case diagram. So our user case diagram map shows the interaction between the user and the system. And as you can see, we have three actors here. So we have two users at the front end. That's the user which is just coming to get the enquiries, and while we have the user for consultation and the key flow that we can see. While at the back end we have the admin, which is able to give feedbacks using the content, that's the CMS, content management system. So that's a clearer picture of what it looks like. And then the next slide, we were able to use the low fidelity and high fidelity wireframe, which were produced using softwares like Balsamic and Visily. So we used the our low fidelity wireframes were created using Balsamic, while the high fidelity wireframes were created using the Visily. So these were to show detailed prototypes of what we have redesigned, and we are able to make sure that this was approved by the project sponsor before we were able to make the final development, so that we won't be able to go back or just just to rework on any of the prototypes again. So the next slides, please. So here we have our ClickUp and our project backlog. So all of this work was tracked using ClickUp. So it was just this ClickUp is majorly our sprint management tool. So we manage and we maintain a very live project backlog with task ownership, the sprint timelines, and the status updates visible to the entire team. So this gave us like a real-time visibility and kept the team accountable across the 8 weeks. Yeah, the next one. So from that, we're able to there's no project without having issues, challenges. So we are able to document some of our issues, and we are so honest about it. So we encountered issues running from base camp unfamiliarity, and to low meeting attendance, to communication fragmentation, and developer testing defects. So we are able to challenge all these issues by following a structured resolution. So we are able to adapt to campfire by either people teaching each other, each team members teaching each other on that. Then the issue of communication fragmentation, we are able to just make sure we are able to escalate those situations to make sure the projects will run smoothly and be able to get them to where we are today. The next slide, please. Our risk register. Next slide. Yeah. So, and the mitigation strategies. So, no, previous slide. Yes, thank you. Our risk register was flagged by key risk. Two were really high, as you can see, being delays from the developer, and which was majorly most of the developer assignment and the execute phase overrunning. So then the one that was really critical was the project timeline, which was almost exceeding the timeline, but we were able to mitigate these issues quickly and using clear early escalations to the sponsors. We did sprint accelerations and make sure our milestones were tighter by monitoring them, so to deliver the project on time. Next slide, lessons learned and recommendations. Our lessons learned are really direct and actionable. The standout insights, which were, for instance, early tool assets were quite critical, but we made sure that in our recommendation, we make sure that okay, when next we'll be able to access all these tools and establish them from day one. Then we had issues with our drives, and that was outperforming our large not f- where for instance, where we had issues with our drives and all. So we'll have that's our Google Drive. We'll make sure we're going to get like a drive administrator from the start to make sure we don't have any issues with our drives. Then the agile retrospective, where we're our most powerful course correction tool. So to the recommendation, next slide, please. To the recommendation, generally, we just want to make sure that we enforce attendance, policy because we had issues with people not attending meetings and all. So those were one of the issues we had also. Next slide. And so this is what the website landing page looks like now. Unfortunately, we don't have what it looks like before, but I can categorically tell you that this is a well redesigned and a modern website landing page now, and it really communicates what the sponsor wanted. And I'm very sure if the visitors who are the users want to, because this is a consulting website, if they go through it, it'll be easy for them to navigate and assess whatever they wanted to get. If it's inquiries they want to just check, or they want to book for a consultation. So next slide. We're going to show you the live websites. Over to you, Emmanuel. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Damilari. Yeah, so this is yeah, I hope you can see my screen. So this is what the current writer consulting website looks like. As you can see, it has modern features, and at a glance, you can tell what Ritem does. Um, you can also see some testimonials, and or as to why you have to, why Ritem Consulting. They are experts. They are, you know, the value that value proposition. What value do they offer you? You know, and of course their core services as clearly stated also on the home page, amongst other things that you can see, including testimonials and so it's basically a modern gives it a modern outlook. And there, of course, you can this is the home, you can get more about them, and the services they offer, the insights, you know on the inside there are articles that you could read, and just to understand that they are a leader in the game, in the industry, in the consulting industry. So yeah, so basically this has been good. The sponsors, I mean the clients themselves love it. I mean the sponsor was very, very pleased with the website that was delivered to them. It was beyond what they had envisaged, and they were majorly satisfied because of the delivery, and delivering it in such record time. Yes, so I think before we go, I'd just like to say that about the whole experience. I would say that the whole experience was good. It was great. Um, most of us, including the lead BA and what have you, everyone came as a student to learn, and we all put in the work to ensure that we got value for time. Attending every stand up, every assigned task was taken with seriousness, and this has left us better than the way we were when we started. And so I'll say it's a good thing that right time, I'm sorry, not right time now, RKY, it's a good thing that RKY is doing. And of course, like I always say, that beyond the course, beyond the additional degree for me, is the people that I met along the way, the people in Project Nexora, the good people there, the people that have now become a part of my professional colleagues, I would say. And I believe that the relationships that being in such a boot camp brings to you, is something that you should even value beyond the money. Yeah, so thank you very much for listening to us. And I think that this is the end. I don't know if Damilare has any other thing to add before we drop the mic.
Well done, Emmanuel and Oluwadamilare. Well done to Project Nexora as well So quickly, let's take feedback from Shemilori. Victor had to drop off because he had something to attend to. But we'll take feedback from Shemilori and then we'll continue. Over to you, please.
Yes, no worries. Thanks so much for you guys for your presentation. I think it was well thought out. I don't think I'm going to give any major feedback different from the ones I've given the previous project. In terms of you guys communicating clearly and working well with your stakeholders. The website also looks good. And as you stated, it would have been nice if we saw what it would look like previously. So we have, a basis of something to judge. And lastly, if you tested it, let's see, whether that's improvement you made, we're able to see that impact truly in your new solution. So I think overall, you guys have done a good job. So well done to everyone involved. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Shemilori. Does anybody have any questions for the team? Actually, those that are wondering that, these people, they must be professionals. They must have background experience. The way they are presenting, they sound like they've been doing this for a long time and the likes. Do you have any questions for them before they leave? Okay, Shemilori, just one question from my own end, or not necessarily a question, right? Do you have any insights, any suggestions or advice you give them, the students that are just finishing their projects, the teams that are presented today, as they navigate the job markets, and now that they have finished their bootcamp, what they should do next, and how to actually navigate job markets and apply for jobs and the likes?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Uyinda, once again. I think for me, it's knowing that the journey just starts now. So it's one thing to have gotten knowledge. It's another thing for you to start applying that knowledge. So even in this project, we've given a lot of feedback today. Try to see if you can continually improve on those some of those ideas you've worked on. Going back to the Omugwo app, you focused on one area, which is trust. Can you continue to do market research? Because it's these little things that will make sure that when you go into the interview room, you are bold enough, you're confident to say, okay, I know what I'm doing. Because there is that tendency of you feeling, like an imposter, like, I just transitioned into product management now. Do I know what I'm doing? But if you take the knowledge RKY has provided and you keep on building on it constantly, right, you'll be confident enough to go into the interview room and you're going to, smash that interview and come out successful. So that will be my major feedback. Don't stop here. Don't stop here. Every single day, try to learn as much as possible, no matter how little it is. Go on YouTube. We mentioned today about testing things. Go on YouTube. Okay, how do I test whether the solution was successful or not? Those little things that you can continually do, because it will continue to be your product sense, right? That even if, when you get into the organization, right, they'll see a lot of learning. That's what you begin to realize. Upon management, the learning never ends, But if you stop learning and you get a job, you feel like an imposter because you don't really know what you're doing. But don't stop learning. Basically, that's what my major advice for everyone. Yeah, don't stop learning. Keep learning and keep applying that knowledge. Keep applying that knowledge. Keep applying that knowledge. Like today, you guys presented a project. You can actually take as much side project as possible, right? Look at the finance sector. Is there anything, any problem I'm facing there? Okay, how do I? So now begin to ask yourself, okay, how do I build this case? If I was now in this company, how do I solve this problem, right? So that's my major advice. Keep on learning and keep on applying your knowledge. Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone. I know, I just want to say thank you to every single one that has presented today. It takes a lot of effort to go through this learning process for 4 months, and you guys have done a good job. So I think you guys should all be proud of yourself for the effort you've made. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shemilori. Thank you. So Project Ruby, Project Decagon, Project Vital, Project Nexora, well done to all of you. You are officially done with your bootcamp. No more attend stakeholder meeting, no more attend status report meeting, no more attending BA meeting or working on any document. You're officially done with your bootcamp. Right, so well done to you guys. Okay, so I think someone asked a question earlier about wanting to transition from healthcare. Is the person still on the call?
Yes, I am.
On the call? Yeah. So your question was that can you transition from healthcare to tech, right?
Yes, while on that COS.
Yes, you can. You can. The only thing is you have to do is when you transition, the next job, the job you'll be applying for is the job that has like that offers sponsorship, right? For example, if you are working in NHS now, right? Maybe as a support worker or healthcare assistant,
Yeah.
and you have COS with them, right? You can actually, so that you don't limit yourself, don't just target, don't just target NHS, right? Target other private companies as well. But your NHS background, regardless of if it's healthcare or not, actually gives you a boost because in their mind, you're already in the system, right? So yes, you can. We actually have students that are support
So, but
workers.
let's start from 100. Let's start from year one again. Or the years I spent will count while I transitioned.
Okay, so while you are transitioning, before you became a support worker, what experience do you have?
I was a banker.
See, you are good to go. There's no need to say much. You are good to go. So now, the support worker experience doesn't cover all your years of experience. You were doing something before you became a support worker, and that counts.
But you know that, under COS, I was given a COS of 5 years and I've spent 2 years. So if I'm transitioning now from the senior support worker to tech using my MBA in project management and my 14 years in banking. We like the tech. We like the years I spent in the healthcare continue to count under the tech industry, or I will have to start afresh.
No, you won't have to start afresh at all. Donna, your hand is up.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Bella, and good afternoon, everybody. I was just trying to throw more light on what she was asking about. If she is going to be starting over again on a visa.
Thank you.
No, if you're transitioning from a healthcare visa to a tech visa, you are not starting over again. Okay?
Yeah.
If you spend 2 years or 3 years on that current visa and you are transiting to tech, you start from the same 3 years. Okay, so you have to be on the tech visa for 2 years before you can qualify for your ILR. The only way you start over, if, for example, your partner now got a job in tech and you guys now apply under his visa as a dependent, then you'll be starting over because they don't have any information or he's not in the system before, he's just on the system as a dependent. But if you are the one taking up the tech visa, you are good to go. Your visa is under continuity. That's it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Pearl.
No, I'm single. I'm alone. I'm the main applicant.
Yeah, no worries at all. You're not starting over.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you, Don. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for us before we go on? I think I should just share my screen briefly before we call it a day. Any questions, please? Okay, so we have our bootcamp starting next weekend, right? The project management bootcamp, business analysis bootcamp, and the product management bootcamp, data analysis bootcamp, and I think those three are the ones that are starting next weekend. And it goes for £599 actually, but there's a discount going on right now where you get to pay £450 instead of £599, right? Support, please can you drop the link for payments and also the discount code in the chat box? So you see all these beautiful things that each team presented today. You also can get to do that. All you need to do is take that step, make that decision, and also participate, right? That is very, very important. The only reason why these people can say everything that they are saying now. They can mention technical terms that feels like, oh, is a lot to you, right? The only reason why they can do that is because they participated. Nobody is saying it's going to be easy, because I mean, nothing good comes easy. Everything, that dream, that career path you are chasing, you need to make sacrifices for it. You need to make time and invest your time and energy in it, right? And resources in it, right? And the only reason they can do this today is because they participated, they were involved from the onset, right? So they are not presenting something that someone told them. They are presenting something that they experienced, right? So if any one of them, and even those that didn't present, it will shock you to know that most of the people that presented today, I don't think I saw. That's to show you that it's not about being the role that you get for the bootcamp. It's about the amount of energy that you put into it, right? If each and every one of them go for interviews now and they ask scenario-based questions that even relate to what they have done in the bootcamp, it will be easy for them to tell that story. Why? Because it is their own, and nobody tells your story better than you. They own that story, they own that experience, and they'll be able to share it, right? So if you are interested in transitioning to tech, now is the time. The industry is changing, and we've asked students that will say, oh, they wish they they took the boot camp earlier, right? But now that they've taken it, like, they are ready to turn things around for themselves, and they do end up turning things around for themselves. So now is not the time for you to start thinking and start delaying if you should not. Now is the time for you to take that step. There are people that get jobs and get sponsored. They get visa sponsorships, right? We had one of our students, I think from 12.0. I think the bootcamp finished last year, mid of last year. As at end of last year, he got a senior business analyst role that offered him visa sponsorship, right? And we have project managers too that get into the system and they get sponsorship too. So if you are worried about sponsorship, all you need to do is just position yourself right. Yeah, there are jobs out there, you just need to find them, and you need to have the right set of skills. So no more rejection. Nobody is saying, obviously, it's not every job you apply for that you get called for interview, but you get better at it, and there's always an higher chances of you getting called for interview if you have the right set of skills and you position yourself correctly. And that's what RKY will do for you. We don't just teach you, we also help you position yourself by giving you a CV that will sell you out there in the job market, optimizing your LinkedIn, positioning it for recruiters to see you, for you to be visible to recruiters. So we got you covered in every angle, and all our bootcamps are infused with AI. You get to learn different tools, right? If you are saying, oh, it's data analysis I want, yes, you get to learn Excel, Power BI, Python, Tableau, SQL, and the likes, right? And if you are going for project management, you heard all these tools that they said they use. You are going to learn all this. Funny thing is that during the course of their life class, they didn't learn these tools. Maybe the facilitator just mentioned it, right? But they got to practicalize it. They got to practically use those tools during the course of their project, right? Now, if someone is talking about, the UI/UX person is talking about Balsamic, obviously, they'll be able to contribute. Why? Because they've used that tool before, right? So, yes, if you need to position yourself for the job market, you're looking for how to fully get that career path that you want. You're tired of the shift work, working night shift, going to work in the cold. You want a comfortable job. Victor is no longer here. I wanted him to also share some insight, but you heard him. He said he's a stay-at-home dad. Victor works remotely. He's a senior business analyst, and he doesn't go to the office. He works from home. You can also get a job like that where you work from home, right? So all you need to do is position yourself, and we have numerous success stories, as you can see here. Right, these are some of our success stories. There's no time for me to start reading everything, but these are some of our success stories. They are not made of the actual success stories that we've gotten from people that have taken part of our boot camps, and they're still coming in. We can't fit everything into this slide, obviously, right? And we also have our Trustpilot and Google review, and these are our training perks. right? You have access to elements. You will have pre-recorded videos that you can watch before each class, so that when you come to class, you'll be able to have a better understanding and flow with the facilitator. So, and you still have access to the recorded version, like the live class recordings as well. So there's something to like cover you everywhere, even when you miss classes. Maybe you miss a class and you were unable to attend, you can always go back to the recording for that class, and also watch the pre-recorded videos. Like I said, the cost is £599. Any of our costs is £599, but there's a discount running presently and it's going for £450. The PMBA, the product management and the data bootcamp is starting 9th of May. The digital marketing bootcamp is starting 30th of May, and the UK compliance bootcamp is starting 6th of June. So if you're interested in any of our bootcamp, you can send a message to our consultants. The support will post the numbers that you can reach out to, and you can also make payments and send us an email, right? So don't miss out on this coming course. The next one will be coming ending of July, and then you'll still be there wondering, oh, should I do it? Should I take it? Should I not take it? Instead of wondering, just take that chance and be committed, and then you will see how far you go from there. So thank you, everyone. Our time is fast spent. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We are happy that you stayed on this call to this point, right? And we look forward to seeing every single person that. Okay, Cecilia, your hand is up.
Hey, I asked a question in the group. You didn't answer. That's why my hand is up.
Okay, I'm trying to.
So the question is that I just finished school and I've been a procurement manager for 8 years, and over here I'm a care worker. So now that I'm done with school, and no, I'll be finishing this month. What kind of job do you think I should apply for? Is advisable with this course that I just finished?
Okay, for procurement manager, I think it's best you go for project management and business analysis, right? Because for procurement, you're managing, so you have transferable skills for it, right? So if you enroll for the project management bootcamp, you can merge that experience you're coming with what you will gain at RKY, and you would, in fact, you will not be limited to just procurement manager roles. You have transferable skills to work as a project manager as well, right? And you'll not be limited to just tech industry. You get what I mean? Right? So when you're done with the bootcamp and you want to start applying for jobs, you are not just applying for tech industries. You are going to apply for the logistic industries as well, right? Because your experience cuts across those fields. Do you understand what I mean? Cecilia,
yes, I understand. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Does anybody have any more questions before we call it a day? Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Okay, Elizabeth, please ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to clarify because it's been a major concern for me. Like, I know somebody has asked that question before, that because it's what I heard was that once you move from a care worker to another role, a tech role or something, maybe as a business analyst, that your visa will start counting afresh again. So are you now saying now that even if you transition, we move to another role, it's still your visa will continue to count from where it stopped? It's not like you're starting afresh.
Yeah, you're not starting afresh at all. You're not. Your visa will continue from where you stopped. Except like one of my colleagues mentioned, Don Henry is one of the support officers at RKY Careers. Like he mentioned, the only way your visa will start afresh is if you now become a dependent on someone. Right now, you are the sole person with the visa, right? Now, if you are moving from being the sole person to becoming a dependent, your visa will start afresh. But if you are the sole owner of the sponsorship and you're now moving to another one, your visa doesn't need to start afresh.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for joining the meeting. Let's all have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you guys in class. For those that are new here, I hope to see you guys in class, right? And we hope to have a very, very impactful session for you guys as well. And I hope to get to see you present just like this present cohorts have presented as well. Let's all have a wonderful day. Bye.